Hi everybody, we're back for December's full moon, which is tomorrow. And it is the 29th of December and it is in Cancer. And Cancer is an emotional sign, and the full moon for December of 2020 is all about release and letting go and saying goodbye. So Cancer helps us do that. What a great way to end the year. Our last full moon of the year. 2020 is almost over. So that's what we're here doing today. We're here doing the last full moon card reading of the year 2020. And like I said, it's in Cancer, which is an emotional sign. And honestly, it really is. It's about release and letting go. So it's an emotional sign. If your birthday or your moon sign is in Cancer, you're probably going to feel this. You could be overloaded with emotions. But I do want to state that because it's the end of the year and it's the last full moon of the year and we're closing things out, and it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster this year anyway. If you're a fire sign or an air sign, all of these emotions might feel just a tad too much for you. So, because it's going to be heavily emotional, the releasing of the old while preparing to come in and make room for the new. So, yeah, what do you do on a moon like this, on those emotional moons? You do things to self-care. That we've gone over that with those emotional moons before. Lots of self-care, self-nurture, surround yourself with things that comfort you, make you feel safe, taken care of, bring you joy, all of those things. It's a great time to reach out to family if you get along with your family. Friends, it's a great time. It's an emotional moon. Those emotions, that's a lot of love, right? So it's always great to share that with people. But in the meantime, please do self-care, because these emotions are going to kind of be amped up a little bit. And self-care is going to be necessary. So we're ending the year, and I thought it would be fun to do this card read just a little bit different. So what we're going to do is, before we take a card from the Deviant Moon, we're going to take a card from the Dolphin Mermaid deck. So we're going to get a positive affirmation going into the new year. So that's basically what this is about. We're going to get a positive affirmation as we're ending out the year and going into the new year. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Deviant Moon deck. And I'm probably then going to go ahead and pull us another card from the Dolphin Mermaid deck. But I wanted to start it out with the positive affirmation. I thought that would be fun. So I feel like they're ready. Well, as soon as I'm done with this here. All right, so I feel like it's ready. I'm going to take a card off the top. And it's have faith. I think we got that last time. So have faith. Your prayers are manifested, and remain positive and follow your guidance. So that's a good positive affirmation to take with us into the new year, 2021. 2020 has been a bit turbulent. People have been feeling it. We've been in the midst of a pandemic, and we've had, throughout this year, we had some lockdowns. People lost their jobs for periods of time before they could go back. Some people lost that position completely because some companies closed down. So a lot of things changed for people. We started wearing masks when we went out. There's been, there's been a lot of resistance to the change. People have been, there's been a lot of resistance. People have been resisting the change, which is normal for people. Whenever something changes massively like that, there's usually some resistance. people don't like change any more than dogs do. I don't think, especially when it's kind of dumped on us the way that it was, you know. So it just kind of came out of the blue and dumped on us, and we've all been trying to figure it out as we go. So it's been a crazy year for a lot of people. It's been crazier for some than for others. You know, there have been good things for some people. For some people, it's been just hard straight across the board. So 2020 has been a bit nuts. And we're asked to, as we close out 2020, we're asked to keep the faith. We're coming into 2021. So if 4 is about balance, which is what it was, 2020 adds up to 4 in numerology. That's about balance, right? So if 4 is about balance, if you write out a 4, you know, no matter how you write it, like this or, you know, like this, you've got that box. You've got that little boxed in area. So people felt boxed in a little bit, especially with the pandemic and how, you know, for a while we were not going out, and you know, even now we're asked to be smart about where we go and how many people we see, and you know, so we're coming into a 5 year, and 5, you know, it's the movement. 5s are really all about movement, and that's what I talked about last time. 5 is about movement. It's a busy movement, and it can be chaotic, and we can, you know, flexibility. Learning that in 2020, I think, was a big thing. Learning the flexibility. Because flexibility is going to be really important in a 5 year. And depending on what your personal year runs and how that vibrates with it will make a difference too. But a 5 years, 5s are busy, busy, busy. Movement, movement, movement. Change, change, change. Great change sometimes. And never really being able to set your calendar completely. Because just when you think your plans are made or something's going to happen a particular way or this is how things are going to work out, something happens and it changes. And so being flexible and learning flexibility is really good in the ears of a 5. Now, I know like some people close to me are going to be having a personal year 5 and an overall year 5. And they said, oh, so that should make it a little easier, right? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe, you know, the challenge will be really making sure that you don't overdo. And that's really a challenge with a 5 year is not biting off more than you can chew. Try to keep in mind that as you say, oh, I want to take this class and I want to learn this thing and I think I can do this job with this job and this job. Oh, and maybe I can do this too. And yeah, sure, I'll do that. Make sure that you're really thinking about it because it's easy in that type of energy to get caught up with the, oh, I can do everything. And then you're overextended. So as we come into the 5 year, make sure not to overextend yourself. Setting good boundaries, really thinking things through, being flexible. These are all good things. So, and also have faith. Have faith as we come into this 2021 and we close out 2020. Full moons are about ending things, the ending of a cycle. And so it's fitting that the end of 2020, the end of December, if 2020 is our full moon, we're ending out not just a cycle, but we're closing out a year. We're closing out a very interesting year. I think it's been very interesting anyway. It's been a very interesting year for me. Learning the flexibility, you know, for me, flexibility around those masks. I don't like them. I don't like putting them on. I have issues the minute they go on my face. At first, seeing everybody masked up was really, you know, I had some resistance to all of that myself. And I had to work with it. I had to work with those pieces of myself that were creating the resistance. Because if we don't work with what we're being resistant to, we're the ones that feel the pushback. Nobody suffers from our resistance any more than we do. We're the ones that will feel it. So, when we're finding ourselves being incredibly resistant to something, there's our sign that that's our work, that's our inner work to do. And see why we're being resistant. What is the resistance? What is the resistance to it really? Anyway, let's pull a card. And here we go. Pentacles. So if you look at, there's that glare, how's that? That looks good. So if you look at this card, you can see that someone's holding tight to their assets, and she looks like she's going batshit crazy. She just looks like she's going nuts. So, and this is upright, so it's the physical, it's the physical world. So it's the day-to-day stuff going on within our lives. So there's some issues going on here with the assets, and this is quite literally with the money. There's some issues going on with the money. You want to look at that again? Someone's holding on tight to it, and the other person looks like they're going a little crazy over it. So if there's any relationship issues going on with that power dynamic, with this money situation going on, it's probably a good time to look at this and take care of it, because no relationship, let's just be honest, no relationship is going to be a happy, balanced relationship with this going on. I feel like that no matter where I set this, there's a glare. Now, we're in December, right? And I know, we just had Christmas. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. There's usually a lot of overspending at Christmas. And I just feel like there's been a little of that. There's been a little not taking care of not really properly taking care of the assets. Spending money and buying presents and stuff is wonderful. It really is. I love giving. But we have to be smart about where we spend our money and how we spend it. So if we've spent all of our money on presents and we don't have anything left over to pay our bills, we should probably reevaluate. And if somebody is controlling all the money and the other part of the partnership doesn't have much say, then there should probably be some reevaluating. So before we go into 2021, let's reevaluate. See if we can't take care of these last final things that 2020 has asked us to balance out. So we can get ready fresh for a new year. Nice and fresh. Whoever that's for, you know who you are, right? All right, so let's see what the second card brings us. (2021) Full moon in Cancer, closing out 2020. Crazy. Seems like the older I get, the faster the years go by. It just doesn't seem like another year has gone by already to me. It actually went by pretty quick for me, and I guess that's the theme. That's just how it goes. The older we get, the faster it goes. We have this wonderful full moon in Cancer. Release, let go, say goodbye. Closing out our year, ending a cycle. ending a period of time. Like one more. Feel like two more. Sometimes I feel like they're gonna be done, and then I just don't feel like they're gonna be done, like they're done. So, all right, let's take it off the top. The Hierophant, and it's upside down. And it goes well with that first card that we just got. We got our positive affirmation out of the mermaid deck, out of the dolphin mermaid deck, to keep the faith. And that's basically what this card is all about. Keeping our faith, getting in touch with our higher guidance, getting those inner stirrings and those feelings and trusting them and rolling with them, tapping in. You can see, you know, he's in prayer. You can see the angel wings. So it's a spiritual card. It's that higher guidance. We've been being asked consistently throughout the year, over and over and over again, to trust our intuition and get in touch with our faith and our higher self, and you know, really trust our intuition and tap in and step into our personal power. And stepping into our personal power really is trusting in ourselves and trusting in those feelings that we get, and having that faith and that knowing. And so we're being reminded again, you know, to tap into that faith, tap into those prayers. You know, don't lose our faith. Keep it, because our prayers are being answered, and better things are coming. We've been told that consistently. So, you know, another reiteration with faith, keeping our faith, staying in touch, tapping in. Our prayers are being answered. You know, they're manifesting. It's been a difficult year for many, but keep the faith. Things are manifesting. Remember, I said we're coming into a year of movement. That's what the energy of 2021 is going to be, movement. So let's keep the faith. There's been a lot of asset talk during these readings over the last, I feel like the last few especially. That balancing of those assets. And here we are again. I just want to point that back out again, because I think it's really important. This is just me, but I think in order to live a happy life, you have to have that piece of things balanced. Because this is just the thing. We have to spend money to buy food, to have shelter, to, take a shower and have clothes on our backs and feed our kids and get from point A to point B. And if we aren't taking care of our bank accounts, then how can we really be satisfied? That adds a lot of extra stress. That's a lot of stress, and that's a lot of worry, and that's not really living your best life if you're under that type of stress. I'm that kind of person that I've never been a keep up with the Joneses type of person anyway, but if there are things that you can get rid of that aren't necessary, so that can lighten this load a little bit, get rid of them. Get rid of them. If they're not necessary and you can balance your life out and be a little happier, then, get get rid of it if it's not necessary. And even if it is, you know, if the car payment's too much, see if you can get a different car with lesser payment. Or, you know, I don't know. I know money is a stressor. And that's a real stressful looking card. So, if there are things that you can do, things that you can let go of, things that you can sell to get a little bit further ahead, anything to get out from underneath that feeling of oppression. Because that's a feeling of oppression. That is definitely a feeling of oppression. You know, and while you're doing that, you know, tap in, think, listen, pray, ask for help, ask for guidance, then listen and follow your intuition. Follow the intuition that will help you get out of that state of things. Okay? All right. Release. Release that which is not needed. All right. Now 3. The third one. Mess that shuffle up. I noticed that my son got me these cards, and so I don't ever want to get rid of them because, you know, my son got me these ones. But I love this deck. I just love this deck. And there is a deck that is the Deviant Moon, but it's smaller. Might be easier for me to shuffle. Alright, so let's pull the third one. The third card. And it's the Page of Cups. And of course it's the Page of Cups because we're ending the year 2020 with the full moon in Cancer. So, of course we're going to end our Deviant Moon pull with the Page of Cups. It's a very emotional card. It's upright. If you look, everything about this card is emotion. So, we have in the background the whale. We have the ocean. We have the sand. He is dressed in a fish suit. He's holding the cup. He's even got a fish coming out of the cup. All right, and then of course the moon. So every single thing in this card right here is emotions. And that's just letting you know, honestly letting you know, and we talked about this in the beginning, this is going to be an incredibly emotional moon because it's in Cancer, which is an emotional sign, but on top of that, on top of the fact that it's in Cancer, it's closing out a year, and it's closing out a year that was meant to bring in balance. It's closing out 2020, and whenever there's a year that's meant to pull in balance, you're going to have some chaos, because the chaos is the stuff that forces us to pick up, move into change to create the balance. If we didn't have the change pushing at us, we probably wouldn't make any changes. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of emotional stuff that will go with the closing out of this year. So as we close this year out on a very highly emotional moon, as we say goodbye, as we release things, make sure to watch for how you're feeling and take care of yourself. And if you're a fire sign or an air sign, watch for being kersnippety, because all those emotions may make you incredibly uncomfortable. And if you're a Cancer and you're already, you know, an emotional sign, it's going to amp that up. So a lot of self-care and a lot of love for this full moon. A lot of self-care and a lot of self-love for this full moon. It's the best advice I can give you. All right, so let's pull our next positive affirmation from the Dolphin deck. Looks like there's some heavy stuff to clear out with this moon. Before I pull this card, I'm just going to go over it again. It really is. It's the assets. It's clearing up those assets, right? Tapping in and having that faith. Listen to that guidance so that you can really get this taken care of, right? And then it's going to feel heavy. It's going to feel pretty heavy. So a lot of self-care. But we started out with keep the faith. Keep the faith. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. Tap in, follow that guidance, remain positive. Let's see what our next card is. All right. One more. See what it is. Blessed change. A major life change brings you great blessings. Keep the faith. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. And then finish taking care of our assets, get our assets squared away. Make sure we balance that out. Follow our gut, do what we need to do to take care of, hold on. It's going to be an emotional full moon. But know that a blessed change, a major life change brings you great blessings. And that's a pretty darn good way to end out this reading, right? I think so. I think we've been through a lot of changes, and I think we've done the readings, and there's been a lot that we've been moving towards, and we're closing out a year where we've done a lot of work in that direction. So as we come into the new year, I think with that movement, we've built the foundation. We're coming into a year where there's going to be a lot of movement. I think we're really going to start seeing the fruits of that labor. We've planted the seeds, we've hoed the garden, we've watered it. It seems like we've worked our butts off trying to get things resituated this year. So know that, there's a blessed change. Blessed change. A major life change brings you great blessings. So have faith. Your prayers are manifesting. It's an emotional moon. Self-care, 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 self-care. Take care of our assets. Keep tapping in. Keep following our higher guidance. Keep saying our prayers. They're manifesting. All right, you guys. Happy New Year. Merry late Christmas. I hope it was wonderful for everybody. Happy New Year. I'm going to see you all again for the new moon in 2021. Until then, I hope that this resonated. Also, in the description of this video, I am going to put up a link for a podcast that I do with a couple of my friends. And basically what the podcast is about, it's about teaching tools that we can use to implement to heal our lives, heal our emotions, help us maneuver with change, help us maneuver in the most healthy possible way that we can. So I think with this year and all the changes that have come about and everything that we're doing, somebody may be interested in the podcast. I'm going to put the link in the description. And if you're interested, just go ahead and follow that through. It's called Stumbling Through Enlightenment. And it's with myself and my friend Jason and my friend Edward. So that link will be in the description. Until then, I will see you all next time. And next time will be next year. All right. Take care.